Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Ashley and I am so excited to see you. So it seemed very appropriate and very fitting that my first YouTube video was the YouTube made me buy it tag. It seemed too perfect. So this tag you've probably seen floating around a lot. It's basically all of the products that we maybe would have bought, maybe wouldn't have purchased, but really the reason we ended up going out and buying it was because of YouTube, and whether it would be somebody that we really liked and trusted their opinion talking about it, or the fact that just everybody was talking about it, and so we wanted to go out and see what all the hype was about. So I have a bunch of products here. The first kind of area that I'm going to start with is skincare, and the first one is the Purity Face Wash. What am I doing? The Purity Face Wash by Philosophy. I had wanted to try this for so long, and the price tag kind of stood in my way. I was not used to spending quite that much on just a face wash. It made sense to me to spend a little bit more for things like moisturizers and serums and things like that, but for the actual face wash itself, it was a little hard to go out and spend it, but I'm so glad that I did. It is such a good face wash. It leaves my skin feeling very, very clean without feeling stripped and dry, which is nice. So it is one that I definitely am glad that I went out to buy. The other skincare item that I have is the Tarte Maracuja Oil. There was so much talk about this for a very long time. It was kind of the first like big oil to kind of come out in skincare, I think, or at least it was one that kind of got the most recognition for a while. And it's okay. I bought it during one of the Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty. Alright, sorry about that, my camera died and I didn't realize it. So we were talking about the Tarte Maracuja Oil, and again, it's okay. There are other oils that are out on the market, so I don't think this is a must-have. But it is kind of an investment, I guess. I've had it for 2 years now or so, and you can see that it's only about halfway done. So I don't regret purchasing it, but it isn't one that I think I would go out and purchase again. So on to kind of primers. One of the things that I bought was the L'Oreal Lumi. The Magic Lumi, sorry. I bought this because I had heard that this was a dupe for the Becca Backlight. I'm not sure whether or not it is because I still haven't tried the Becca Backlight. It is on my agenda. It has been in my Sephora cart many times. It just hasn't actually made it to my house. But I'll be honest, I don't really like this one very much. For me, it felt very greasy, and I didn't really like the way that my makeup sat with it. So I'm not sure if maybe I'm just using too much of it or not enough of it or what, but I'm really not a fan. If you have this and you like it, definitely I would love to hear your thoughts on it, because for me it just was kind of a meh. So the one that I did buy because of, one that I also bought because of YouTube was the NYX Angel Veil. And this one I do like. This one is a little bit thicker. It doesn't go on the skin very greasy like the other one did. And it just helps to kind of fill pores and to diminish lines, which is always nice. This is the Skin Perfecting Primer, and I really do like this one a lot. This one definitely gets a lot of love on YouTube. Kathleen Lights especially, I've seen her use it quite a few times. So definitely I'm glad I picked this one up. Now, as far as concealers go, I do have a couple. The one that you can't have one of these videos without is the NARS. This is the Radiant Creamy Concealer, and this is great. This is definitely on a lot of people's kind of ride or die list, and I can see why. It's got great coverage, it doesn't get all cakey, and it looks lovely underneath the eyes. So I use mine in vanilla, so definitely a fan. I do recommend this one highly. The other one that I got because of YouTube is the Maybelline the Instant Age Rewind. This is the dark circle eraser, and I got this because Tati from Glam Life Guru swears by this stuff, and she has great reviews on her site, so I figured if she liked it I would go out and get it, and I like it too, actually. Wait, I don't know why I said actually, but I do. I really like it. I usually use a little of this with a little bit of my NARS Creamy Concealer, and the effect is just perfect. So I'm definitely a big fan of this. Now, as far as powders go, I only really have one. I don't have YouTube Made Me Buy on foundations because I am still a little bit new to foundations, but I'm sure there will be some. But I do have the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, and I got this because I had heard that it was kind of a dupe for the IT Cosmetics, the original formulation, the Celebrity Celebration Foundation or something. It's a huge long title like that. I don't have the package anymore, but when I hit pan on it for the millionth time, I wanted something that was a little bit more cost effective. So I tried it out and it's okay. I wouldn't necessarily say that I think it's a dupe for it, but it served its purpose to help set down my foundation now that I have started wearing some. I don't know if I'll buy it again. Well, I mean, I probably will just because it's good to have around, but I'm still looking for more of a dupe, so I'll let you know how that hunt goes. Now on to bronzers. So this is the first bronzer that I ever bought in my whole life. And this is the Too Faced, this is the Milk Chocolate Soleil. And this, I feel like, is probably the most popular bronzer I have ever heard of in my life. So luckily I have the milk chocolate because even the milk chocolate is a little bit too dark for my skin tone. I'm very fair, so I typically use it as more of a contour, but I do really like it, and it does smell absolutely stunning. It doesn't smell like a chocolate bar, so if you think you're going to open it up and have a Willy Wonka experience, not quite. It smells more like if you bake the actual dark cocoa. That's what it smells like, which honestly I prefer. So I really, really like this stuff. I've had this for years and years and I still haven't hit pan, and I use it every single day. So this for me was a very good investment and I'm glad that I bought it. The other one that I use every day and YouTube made me buy is the Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula. This one I bought because of Kathleen Lights. She raves about this and it's beautiful. For me, I have the light bronze shade, and it is actually a good bronze for me. It's light enough that I can use it as a bronzer. And this one also smells really good. It's kind of like, I don't know, kind of like suntan lotion a little bit, but not in the like gross way. It reminds me of my honeymoon. We honeymooned in Cancun, and that's what this smells like. Oh. Yeah, so I definitely really, really like it. I'm wearing this all over my face now, and I couldn't say enough good things about it. This is great. Now, on top of that, we also have the big wide world of highlighters. And the funny thing is I bought this one a long time ago, before I even knew what to do with it. I bought it before highlighters were really nearly as popular as they are now. And it ended up going into the back of one of my makeup drawers because I didn't know what to do with it. I probably used it a few times as eyeshadow, which, side note, it works great as eyeshadow. And I was almost going to go out and buy another one until I found it, so I'm glad that that I did kind of a declutter, because this is beautiful. You can use it a couple of different ways. It has these lovely kind of bronze colors here, and then you can kind of mix those together. It's also got rosy tones. It's got more of your kind of white tones. You can either swirl it all together, or you can kind of pick and choose the areas that you want to work in. It's really versatile and really beautiful, so I definitely recommend the Physicians Formula Shimmer Bricks. And then also, YouTube made me buy this little gem right here. So this is Wet n Wild. This is in Boozy Brunch. This is another one that I bought because of Kathleen Lights. She spoke about it so highly. And it really is really pretty. It's got this gorgeous kind of animal print on it. It's got gold tones and rosy tones and bronze tones, and honestly it's really pretty. I can't really wear it though. It's actually too dark for my skin, so even when I put it on, try to blend it out, either you see kind of that harsh line between my skin and the color of the bronzer, or it just kind of dissipates into nothing. So I'm kind of bummed. Sometimes I use it as inner corner highlight, or I use it as kind of a sparkly shadow, but as a highlighter, sadly, it's not for me. And then you can't talk about highlighters without talking about the Becca highlighters. These are still, I think, the most popular highlighters out there, although the Cover FX drops are giving them a run for the money. But I have mine in Moonstone. I know everybody on YouTube talks about Opal most often. Opal is too dark for me, so I can't wear it, but Moonstone is absolutely gorgeous. It is so pretty. So I'm definitely glad that I bought that. This is just the travel size. I had a larger one and it broke. So I was very sad, so I ended up getting this cute little travel one with another multi-pack sort of product that I bought. But I do really, really love it. So now let's get on to eyes, because for me that is kind of the biggest area that YouTube has influenced me in my purchases the most. I would say that the one that everybody has in this kind of video is the Urban Decay. This is the eyeshadow primer potion. I really think that this is the first product of its type, and that's partly why everybody just went so crazy for it, because it was so new and so innovative. And nowadays there's so many other ones on the market. There are ones that I actually like better. I still have a couple of tubes of this, either from stuff that I've purchased, or it comes usually in the smaller size. It'll come as kind of an add-on with things. So I still have a couple of them. They're not the ones that I reach for first though. But on the topic of Urban Decay, I do have a couple of Urban Decay palettes. So I have a kind of love-hate relationship with these. I wanted the original Naked palette so badly when it came out, and I literally didn't have the money. I was in college, super broke all the time. Buying a $50 pan or palette of eyeshadow just did not make sense. So I went many years when they were so popular and everybody was using them and everybody had them and everybody loved them, and I just lusted after them. So the first time that I was able to get my hands on one was this Naked 2 palette, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't actually buy this. A friend of mine at the time, she had purchased it and she didn't like it. They weren't really the kinds of colors that she really liked. So she asked if I wanted it, and I dove on it, and I have loved it. So you can kind of see the shadows that I got the most use out of. I have not yet hit pan because I use it very lovingly, but it's got just beautiful, beautiful shades in it. It's got a lot of shimmers in it, which I enjoy shimmer shades. It's got a lot of matte shades. It's got just a good range of colors. You can do so much with this palette, and it's great for every day. You can use it for you know, going out and creating a nice little smoky eye. You can use it for daytime when you go to work. It's just wonderful. Eventually I would like to get the original Naked palette, but I just haven't yet because there are so many other palettes now that are on the market. Again, I get distracted and I buy a newer one instead of that one. But then more recently, when the Urban Decay Smoky palette came out, this one I did buy, and I was so excited to buy it. I wanted to, you know, be like one of the first, and I was going to be all over it. And it's pretty. I don't use it very often though, I'll be real honest. It has just so many dark colors and not enough blending colors, not enough transition colors, and I just don't find myself reaching for this very often. I'll be honest, the ones that I use most frequently are going to be the ones down here, this really, really beautiful gold color. This one I really, really like, and the brown color next to it, I use this one a bunch. And then every now and then I'll reach for some of these shades over here if I'm trying to deepen up a look, but I don't find myself pulling from this very often, because generally if I'm doing my makeup, I want to be able to pull everything from one palette. I don't want to have, you know, a whole bunch of palettes open in front of me while I'm getting ready in the morning for work. So this one I just don't get a ton of use out of, so I kind of wish that I had saved my money on this and just bought the original Naked palette instead. But it is still very pretty. The shadows are very pigmented. They're very buttery. It's still a very good quality product. It's just not one that I find myself using all that much. So my last eyeshadow palette is by e.l.f. And e.l.f. has some really great products. It's very hit and miss for me. But they do have some good products. This is actually an e.l.f. eyeshadow palette that Kathleen Lights talked about and kind of recommended. And this is one of their Prism palettes. It is their Naked Prism palette, I want to say. And as the name would indicate, it is all shimmery shades. And they're okay. It's not my favorite palette. I don't find myself using it very often at all because, again, it doesn't have enough variety in it for me, which I should have known based on the name, but she recommended it, so my wallet paid for it. But, I mean, it was only $10, so it wasn't a huge deal. But the shades, they're really pretty. Again, I don't find myself reaching for it super often. I do have a couple of single eyeshadows. I don't use single eyeshadows a whole ton because, again, it's just easier to reach for a palette. But I do have a couple of the Essence eyeshadows. And these are found, or at least I find them at Ulta. And they're okay. They are really kind of hit and miss. I find that some of the lighter shades are better than the darker shades. I've gotten a couple of the darker shades that literally, even when I run my finger through it, it picks up no color at all, which is always disappointing. Now, these are only like $2 each, so it's not like it's a huge waste, but whether it's $2 or $20, if you're not going to use it, it's still a waste of money, so that makes me sad. And then finally, ColourPop. I never would have known what ColourPop was if it hadn't been for YouTube. And there are so many that I want and so many that I don't have. And every time I get on there, my cart, for these little suckers being $5, $6, basically everything on their site is anywhere between $5 and I think $8 unless you are looking at the kits. And still somehow I try to spend like $100 every single time because there are just so many awesome shades and it's such a unique texture and I really, really like them. But this one is in the shades Kathleen Lights. She's done quite a few collaborations with ColourPop and I don't have them all, but this one I bought literally because it was called Kathleen Lights and it was really pretty. I know that's so dumb. But on the topic of ColourPop, also I do have her collaboration, the eyeliner that she did called Mr. Bing. And it's just a beautiful kind of warm brown color. I don't wear it super duper often just because I do tend to go for a black eyeliner most times. But if I am wearing kind of a no makeup day or I just want something a little bit more natural, I do reach for Mr. Bing because it is a really, really gorgeous color. So the other eyeliner that has been for so many years now, my ride or die, has been Physicians Formula. This is the Eye Booster pen. I have used this for probably 10 years, if not more. I freaking love this thing. It's got just this beautiful, just really fine point to it. But it still kind of maintains its shape to some degree, but it does have some give. It's just, if you have never used this, definitely put it on your list to try because it's wonderful. It's very black, it dries down. I'm not gonna lie, I don't see any boost to my eyelashes, which is I think originally why I bought it, but it is a really, really good eyeliner pen. I like it. Alright, so on to mascara. I think that this is something that, like many people, I'm always looking for a new mascara. I love trying new mascaras. So the Tarteist is one that is a little bit newer and I actually really, really like it. It is very black. It stays all day, although it does tend to kind of transfer just a little bit below my lash line. It's not a ton, but still I notice it at the end of the day. One thing that I will note, if you have never used this before, it's got kind of a weird base in the sense that when you open it up, I thought I broke it the first time because if you can see, just the whole thing comes out instead of like what you're used to, and then it looks like it pulled out, and it was just, I don't think you can really see, yeah, but it looks like you broke it. You didn't, but if you can get around that, just as a heads up. But it does have a rubberized tip. It is very black and it is one that I do like. One that I'm not a huge fan of that everybody on YouTube seems to really love and is their kind of holy grail is the Benefit Roller Lash. I'm just not a big fan. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not my kind of go-to. It also has this kind of rubberized tip here, or rubberized wand rather. And it's okay. It's supposed to lift your lashes and hold them all day. I really don't notice anything special when I wear it. Now, my kind of ride or die mascara that is just awesome in my opinion is also by Benefit. It's the They're Real. I love that stuff. It also has a rubberized wand. It stays all day. It is super black. It gives you length. It gives you volume. I don't notice that it transfers underneath my eyes. That one I love. So for my money, I'm going to save and pass on the Roller Lash, and I'm going to go directly to the They're Real. So just my 2 cents. Now, another mascara that I do love and I will be repurchasing once I get through some of my other ones is the Better Than Sex by Too Faced. This is a great mascara. It has this natural bristled wand, and you can see it kind of dips to follow the curve of your lash line. This stuff is fantastic. I freaking love this stuff. I freaking love this stuff. It is awesome, and I absolutely recommend it to anyone and everyone. And then finally, I only have one lip product. I'll be honest with you. I'm a sucker for a lipstick. I love it. I buy it no matter what. I freaking love it. The one that YouTube did made me buy, and this is just the sample size of it, is the Kat Von D, the Everlasting Lip. These are awesome. I absolutely recommend them beyond all words. This one is Lolita. It is probably the most popular of her shades, I'll be quite honest with you. They dry down, but they're still comfortable. They aren't the incredibly dry ones that just make you want to scrub your lips and start all over again halfway through the day. They are so comfortable. They're so long lasting. They don't crumble off of your lips. And they're great. I'm glad that YouTube introduced me to Kat Von D and that they made me buy this, so thank you. So I think that's everything for what YouTube has currently made me buy, at least that I could find. I'm sure there have been more that I just don't remember, that I don't have anymore, and let me tell you, there will be many more down the line because, again, I love makeup and I love hearing other people's opinions on makeup. I love watching other people's reviews on makeup because, let's face it, I'm an addict. So thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I hope that I will see you back again. Make sure to hit the subscribe button before you leave. And if you like these kinds of videos, please give me a thumbs up so that I know what to make. And I definitely would love to hear from you in the comments. What did YouTube make you buy? All right, guys, have a great week. Bye.